Hey Jonesy Babes and Anonymous Jonesy Babes, welcome back to my channel. So we are going to discuss Wade Wilson, okay? Now, today I watched a video on Law and Crime channel called Wade Wilson, the Face of Evil. And that's exactly what he has, the face of evil. I don't know why they call him the Deadpool killer, but I guess because of his name. But he looks like it's like the face of death. It's like his tattoos on his face doesn't look like tattoos. My husband said it looked like a magic marker, you know, was like a marker, like one of those Sharpie markers, was just all over. He just did all over his face. And it does, in a way. It does. He really messed up his face. My son said he looked like El Diablo from the Suicide Squad. And I do agree. He does look like that dude. And I will insert a picture somewhere in my commentary so you'll see exactly who I'm talking about if you don't know. But anyway, so let's get back with Wade Wilson. So I did a video. My last video was about an interview that I had listened to. A woman from the news station named Rochelle had interviewed Wade over the phone, and I was comparing what he said, you know, comparing notes to see, you know, what he was talking about from that video to Wade Wilson, the Face of Evil. Okay, so on Wade Wilson, the Face of Evil, they talked about Mila, they talked about everything. So Mila and Wade were together for 6 months. Now, the way these two talk on the phone or just how they act, I would have thought they were together for years, okay? They met through a mutual friend. They lived together for the first 2 months until he was incarcerated for 3 months, and they still kept in contact, right? He's a habitual offender, 20 or more arrests since 2010 for charges including fraud. Wade Wilson, you know, he's adopted. His parents at the time when they had him were just babies themselves, 14 and 15 years old, you know, when he was born. So they gave him up for adoption, right? Now, the last name Wilson came from the other family, Candy and Steve Wilson. I'm not sure if his name is Steve or Steven, but Candy and Steve or Steven Wilson. They went to church with Wade's mother parents. Okay. So Wade connected with his biological father at the age of 18 years old. And, you know, they kept in contact and they talked here and there and stuff like that. When he was incarcerated, he would ask for money, you know, or whatever the case may be. So when Wade did all that stuff, Wade called his father and told him that he was a killer. But, you know, at that time, the father didn't believe him, you know. He said because Wade is a great storyteller. Wade told his father that he choked Christine. He tried to put her in the trunk, you know, but he couldn't. And the father said, Wade said, I choked that B-I-T-C-H. Okay. There's something wrong with Wade. There's something in his brain, something going on in his mind, because I don't understand. Like, I want to know what made him become a killer. Like, what made him start living a life of crime and then moved on to being a killer? You get what I'm saying? So that's my question. When he was out there doing all this crime, what made him become a killer? You know? But anyway. And I don't think, when you take drugs will change you. It will turn you into a monster or whatever the case may be. But I think he had that in him already. He had that in him already. But anyway, Diane Ruiz, right? They talked about her. And, you know, the father said that Wade told him that she got in the car. He tried to choke her while, you know, he was driving. And he was driving Christine's car, as a matter of fact. He was going to, he was trying to pull her, he pulled her out of the car, right? He pulled her out of the car. and he was going to dump her body somewhere. But he realized that she was still breathing. So he got back in the car and he ran over her. And this part right here almost took me completely down. He ran over her until she looked like spaghetti. Oh, my goodness. Have you guys ever seen the video of him in court? Those of you who are following this story, you probably have. I know you have. But when he was sitting in court, he had no emotion. He has no remorse. He has no feelings whatsoever. He ran her over until she looked like spaghetti. My goodness. Okay, so now Wade's father, you know, turned him in, right? Wade's father turned him in. He had broken into this house and he was, you know, he called his father and was telling his father what he had done and everything. So Wade's father said, well, I'm going to send you an Uber. But honey, instead of sending the Uber, he sent the police instead. And that was a smart move. That was a smart move. And you know what? I am so happy and I'm proud that Wade's father stepped in and did this and called the police. Because if he did not do that and Wade would have got away, he would have went somewhere else and he would have committed more crimes and probably a few more murders. And you know what? He also saved Mila's life as well. He saved her life too. Because I know for a fact, at some point, she would have been a third victim. I don't care how much he say on the phone, it never would have been her. He would have never did that to her. I don't believe him. He lies so much. It's ridiculous. Just like he tried to make it seem like that Hellcat belonged to him and Mila. No. It's Mila. Mila has the spa. Mila has the Hellcat. He can't even drive the Hellcat. He don't know how to drive a stick. That's why when it was at the Buddha bar and he left with that guy and those two girls, you know, that's why the guy was driving the car, because Wade doesn't know how to drive a stick. But anyway, Wade is guilty on all counts, right? Okay. So I had something else here that I wanted to share with you guys too. All right, so this is back to Mila and Wade. Like I said, we know they was dating for 6 months and all that kind of stuff. We heard the dispatcher calls and everything. I seen the video, the body cam of, you know, the police telling Wade to turn the to give him the keys, and Wade drove off, and it was just, he was really a mess. Okay. So, when Wade left Mila at the bar, she called her friend Amy to pick her up. And Amy took her to her house, right? She was exhausted and she passed out. The next morning, she saw a bunch of missed calls from Wade because he was calling from an unfamiliar number. So when she finally answered, he was talking loud and he was furious. And he demanded to see her. Well, she decided, you know, to meet up with him, but she took her friend Amy with her. So she met up with Wade and she went around to the driver's, you know, side and was talking to him. And she said that he was like yelling and just acting crazy and being violent. And he tried to pull her in the car, right? Now, Wade is not a small dude. They said on this channel that he was 6'6". But when you look at his records online, it says his height is 6'4", and he's 215 pounds at the time. So he's a big dude, okay? And then she said that, you know, when he opened the door, he didn't turn the car off, so the car was slowly moving, and he fell on top of her and stuff like that, and it was a whole big thing. So he, you know, he assaulted her. He assaulted her. But my thing is this, why is she on these phone calls with him? You know what I would have never answered the phone for him. I would have never answered the phone, and he's talking about he loved her, he cared about her, and all kind of stuff. But here's a little bit of his criminal history, what I found so far. Okay, so offense date, September 19th, 2012, right? His sentence was, he was sentenced 11/15/2013 in the county of Leon. His prison sentence was 1 year and 6 months, okay? Now, it says here he was in custody and out of custody. So he was in custody. So he was in custody 11/26/2013, and he was out of custody September 19th, 2014. Okay. Then they have here 12/2014, you know, grand theft firearm and all types of stuff. He was sentenced September 28th, 2017 in Leon County. His prison sentence was 3 years, okay? Now, 10/17, he was in custody, 17 to 7/15/2018. He was out of custody at that date. So this kid loves to be in jail. He just can't help himself. He just can't help himself. Okay, so some other charges. So his date of birth is May 20th, 1994. His height, 6'4" or 6'6". The first time they weighed him, he was 250 pounds. But then sometime later on, he was 215 pounds. The charge, battery, touch or strike. He had the bond was a cash surety, county court, $50,000 cash surety bond. The date was 7/14/19, 7/30/2019. And he also had a out-of-county warrant, Palm Beach County. So his next court date is 8/27/2024 at 9 a.m. So the court date, that's 9 a.m., homicide, first-degree murder, premeditated, vehicle theft, grand theft of a motor vehicle, battery, burglary, occupied dwelling, petite theft, first degree. So those, he would be in court 8/27/2024 at 9 a.m. And then he still have court that same day, but at 2 p.m. for escape, and that's a cash surety of $50,000. Damaged property, cash surety, $5,000. Trafficking, amphetamine, 28 grams to 200 grams. Conspiracy to traffic in amphetamine or methamphetamine. At this time, he was weighted at 215 pounds. And he's going to be in court for all the rest of these charges, 8/27/2024 at 2 p.m. So he has a 9 p.m. court time. And that same day, he has a 2 p.m. court time. Oh, this guy is unbelievable. And I see that phone calls from prison. She posted 2 more phone calls. I'll get to those tomorrow sometime. But I just want to, talk about what I saw on Law and Crime, the video called Wade Wilson, The Face of Evil. And they broke down a lot of things that I didn't really talk about in here. But it's just really weird. It's really weird. Now, the last video when he was being interviewed by the news lady, he said that both victims were alive when he left them. which is a lie. We know he was lying. Okay, we know he was lying. We know he was lying. And he was confessing to a whole bunch of people. From what this video was saying, he was confessing to, he told Mila, he told his father, he told the guy, I think the guy name is Tim. Oh, what's the guy? No, what's the guy name? The guy that worked at the digital place. Well, he told him he needed some money to get out of town because he had, you know, killed somebody. The guy went outside, called the police, and I heard the dispatching audio for that. This guy was off the chain. Okay? He was off the chain. But anyway, absolutely insane. See, with him, when you talk about this guy, you have to listen to some music to get your mind out of that space, because this is some heavy stuff. This is some heavy stuff. And you know what makes me so sick? Is that when you go on these channels right now talking about him, you get a few people in the comment section saying, oh, he got such a sexy voice. Oh my goodness, before the tattoos, he was so handsome. And I'm like, what is wrong with these people? Even some with the tattoos they have on his face. Oh my God, he is so handsome. I love the way he talks. They are infatuated with him. And for what? Why? I will never understand that. So they are just as sick as he is. And if Mila keeps talking to him on the phone, she's a nutcase too. But anyway, that's all I have. I'll talk to you guys later. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to chat about it in the comment section, you are welcome to do so. But if you're one of those that's talking about he's cute, honey, not over here. Okay? The last thing you don't want the victim's family to be listening to these type of videos and they read the comment section and they see that kind of stuff. You don't want that. Anyway, have a good one and I'll talk to you guys later.